Now becoming more reliant on technology than ever, we are starting to move closer to a reality where social interaction is predominantly digital. This is a huge change that is probably inevitable and one that we must be prepared for. The question is whether this will be a change for the better or one for the worse. The truth is, technology and social media alike is starting to mentally harm its users. Many people believe that technology has enhanced daily life for the better, while others fear that technology has only worsened our quality of life as a whole. Of course, there are many great aspects that come from the recent advances in technology. Computers and smartphones alike have become faster and more capable. Because of this, technology can be seen everywhere in day-to-day life. Whether it's taking funny pictures with your friends, or it's checking your home security systems for intruders, technology affects everyone in some way. Whether it's a positive or negative way is determined by the users.
So, how do you feel about the future of technology?
I feel like it's going a lot of places very quickly. So it'll be cool to see what happens, but also kind of scary.
So technology as a whole, I feel like is going to, it's a hit or miss. It can improve our lives, but it also is a little scary on how smart things are getting, including social media and how they target people and gear everything towards everything you do all day long.
Just because I feel like it can replace jobs, and sentient AI would be kind of scary, even though I don't know how realistic that is.
Do you think that social media has impacted your life for the better or for the worse?
A little bit of both. Probably more so for the worst because I waste a lot of my time on TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Probably the way I use it, I would say for the better. I am in very tight circles in social media world where I'm able to interact with people that have similar training to mine so that I can use it to post ideas, work that I've done, and get feedback from my colleagues, and then also provide that same level of feedback or listen to what other people in the field are thinking so that we can, kind of brainstorm new ideas for the field.
So, do you think social media has impacted your life for the better or for the worse?
Worse.
Worse? How come?
I think as a human, as human beings, I think it's just changed the way people communicate, and it's sort of lessened their ability to communicate.
Yeah.
I see it in my own relationships with friends and family, but as a teacher, I see it heavily impact my students.
Although technology has effectively enhanced communication, it has also decreased face-to-face communication among communities. Why go visit someone in person when you can easily just shoot them a text, right? This, of course, has caused a substantial increase in loneliness. Many people feel isolated by this sudden shift in communication. This is especially true among the elderly, who may have no choice but to use technology as their prime source of communication with their family and their loved ones. Sadly, it seems that a majority of people feel that technology has impacted their lives and the world as a whole for the worse. According to a survey conducted by Pew Research Center in July of 2020, about two-thirds of Americans say that social media has had a mostly negative effect on the way things are going in the country today.
So, how do you think technology advances may impact your job in the future?
AI is really interesting at about every information-based job. Being a teacher, I've written already using ChatGPT's API a grader for my assignments, things like that. I could see it at first making the job a lot easier, but then potentially you could replace a teacher with an API robot.
Unfortunately, the negative effects of technology is most prevalent among younger generations. According to a research essay by Jane M. Burns, adolescence and young adulthood are critical periods for the onset of mental health problems. Almost 50% of syndromes emerge by the age of 14, with 75% of disorders having their onset before 24 years of age.
So, I know you don't have a kid, but would you let your child use social media? And if so, at what age?
I would, but I probably just wouldn't give them technology in general until they're at least 8. I feel like.
I think it'd be good to limit the amount, the age we let them start doing it. I feel like it'd be, because I don't like it when I see parents who give their kids like just unlimited access to the internet at like 5 years old. Like that's kind of crazy. I think I would probably wait till like middle school.
Would you let them use like social media apps and stuff like that?
Not that early.
Not that
They gotta be like 12 before they get like Instagram or something.
Right.
My son has not gotten there yet. He's 9. I would say probably about teenage years, that I've allowed it. But I do allow my kids, or have allowed my kids in video game context, to interact with other players and stuff like that.
So what do you think's your reasoning for that? You just don't feel it's like safe for him yet, or how come?
I think as far as safety, I think some of the social media safe, ideas and scary relation to that is a little bit overblown. I think it's like anything else. If you're introduced in the proper context and given the correct level of instructions, but also allow for mistakes to be made, but in a low consequence environment, that's a more appropriate reaction than to try and boycott it.
Even though many young people have hundreds or even thousands of online friends through social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, they might not have any real friends that they can actually rely on and reach out to for help in their daily lives. Then there is also the issue of dangerous people lurking on the online web. Of course, not every stranger you may run into online is someone looking to harm you. In fact, many people have made genuine and long-lasting friendships with strangers they met online through social media and gaming platforms. Regardless, thousands of people each year are harmed in some way by a stranger they met while on the internet, usually through means of blackmailing and online fraud. To make matters even worse, a majority of the people who fall victim to online criminals are children. According to a survey conducted by Madison Foster, almost 4,000 children found that 43% of those aged between 8 and 13 years old are talking to people that they have never met in real life on social media and gaming platforms. Of that percent, the study found that more than half revealed their phone number to a stranger, 1/5 spoke with a stranger over the phone, and 11% went as far as to meet a stranger in their own home, the stranger's home, or a park or a mall. This rise in communication through technology has also resulted in an unfortunate increase of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying can be defined as the use of technology and social media to bully a person. This is usually by sending harmful and threatening digital messages or by creating and sharing hateful posts meant to ridicule a person. Many young people exposed to this have started developing problems with low self-esteem, mental health disorders, and furthermore, trust issues. Rates of stress, depression, and anxiety are higher among students involved in cyberbullying than those not. Many suffering people associate cyberbullying with their depression. Unfortunately, victims of cyberbullying are also more likely to physically harm themselves or worse. According to Science Daily, children and young people under 25 who are victims of cyberbullying are more than twice as likely to self-harm and enact suicidal behavior. This issue only continues to grow as more and more people are exposed to cyberbullying and negative social media content each passing day. As said in a recent research essay by Ariel Schoenfeld, the incidences of both cyberbullying and adolescent suicide are rising in the U.S., with recent Centers for Disease Control and Prevention data showing that 14.9% of adolescents have been cyberbullied and 13.6% of adolescents have made a serious suicide attempt. Sadly, suicide rates among children rise each year, with many people pointing to social media as the one at fault.
So do you think the internet is like a safe place?
Completely not. No, that's terrible.
Really?
That's
Have you experienced any of the terribleness of the internet?
like literally every other Instagram reel I see is like some dude dying in like a car crash.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the internet is not a very safe place. This is pretty alarming considering that the internet is used by practically the entire country. There are countless negative repercussions that have arisen with this recent increase in technology usage that will have long-lasting effects on today's youth and the world as a whole. Because its usage is becoming so prevalent, it is imperative that we are able to ensure that when using the internet, we are remaining mentally healthy and safe.